There is nothing outside the text. Deconstruction is not a dismantling of the structure of a text but a demonstration that it has already been dismantled. To pretend. I actually do the thing. I have therefore only pretended to pretend. Every object, every term, is inscribed in a chain or in a system. Difference is not simply a word, a term or a concept but the multiplicity of the process of differing. The supplement adds itself, it is a surplus. A plenitude enriching another plenitude. Writing is what happens in the silent spaces between words. There is no outside text. Language is a structure before it is a discourse. The concept of center is central to the concept of structure. Nothing is more mysterious than a TV set left on in an empty room. Justice must always question itself, just as society can exist only by means of the work it does on itself and on its institutions. The notion of the other is sometimes used by the subject in order to disguise the threat he represents. Structure is the succession of presence. A text is not a text unless it hides from the first comer, from the first glance, the law of its composition and the rules of its game. There is no political power without control of the archive, if not memory. What I mean by deconstruction is first the necessity of a certain rapport with a tradition. The work of mourning is one of the most individual ways of being. In the world, there is nothing beyond the text. I'm not so preoccupied with death but rather with language. Deconstruction takes place in language. It is a rethinking of language, a new understanding of language. Deconstruction is the experience of the impossibility of thinking in any stable or secure sense. Language is a form and not a material. I don't believe in accidents. There are only encounters in history. There are no accidents. The structure of a text is always organized in relation to a center, an irreducible point of presence. The concept of center is central to the concept of structure. I would like to write to you so simply, so simply, so simply. But I'm afraid I won't be able to. Reading is not a receptive skill but a productive one. Language is the house of being. To read is to reproduce or repeat a text structure. To write is to produce a mark that will constitute the structure of the text. Truth is inseparable from the reasons which make it truth. Deconstruction means taking a text to the point where it reveals its unresolvable contradictions. Deconstruction is not a dismantling of the structure of a text but a demonstration that it has already been dismantled. The concept of identity is never absolute but always in process. One must always search for the smallest difference, the most minimal difference. The concept of identity is never absolute but always in process. In some sense, everything contains the other. To love is to give, not something that one does not have, but something that one has. The space of deconstruction is neither a here nor a there. It is an always already here. Deconstruction is not synonymous with destruction. Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. There is no center. The text has no ultimate meaning. The truth is not that we love life, but that we love death. To philosophize is always to philosophize about something. Deconstruction is not a method, and cannot be transformed into one. The more one is capable of loving, the more one is capable of suffering. The gift of truth is the highest gift.